Hello, and a very warm welcome to VitaPrime Health for Seniors. I'm Dr. Eleanor Vance, and I'm so glad you're here with me today. I'm speaking to you from Stanford, where I've had the immense privilege of spending my career studying the nuances of health and the incredible journey of aging. Today, we are going to dive into a topic that many people find deeply personal and at times difficult to talk about. It's a subject often shrouded in myth, unrealistic expectations, and a quiet sense of pressure, but it is so vital to our overall well-being. We're going to talk about sexual health and intimacy as we age, and I want you to know this conversation is about you. It's about your body, your relationships, and your happiness. In our modern society, we spend a lot of time glorifying what sex should look like. We're constantly bombarded with images and stories that set a very high and often unattainable bar. We put so much value on how long sex should last. But ultimately, all this pressure can have a very real and detrimental impact on our lives and our relationships. What you hear about sex is not always accurate, particularly regarding how long someone lasts in bed. The truth is, these misconceptions can create a sense of anxiety and inadequacy, leading to a silent struggle that so many people face alone. I want you to know that if you have felt this way, you are not alone. And the goal of this episode is to give you the information and the perspective you need to reframe this conversation in a way that is empowering and liberating. I want you to listen all the way to the end because the most crucial information, the steps you can take today to foster a truly fulfilling and intimate life, is waiting for you in the final 3/4 of this episode. We're going to get to the true data on what is average, and more importantly, why the numbers themselves are the least important part of the story. While you're listening, I'd love for you to comment below. What's one question you have or one piece of advice you've received about sexual health or intimacy that you've always wondered about? Let's start an open and honest conversation right here in our community. To begin, let's talk about that big question. What is the average length of intercourse? You might have heard a lot of different numbers from different sources, and much of it is not based on scientific data. But a large study of 500 couples around the world provided some true time data on what the average length of penetrative intercourse actually is. Now, before we get to the number, it's important to define what sex means in the context of this study. In this particular study, sex was defined as penetration, from the initial point of penetration to the end of it. It does not include foreplay. Now, that doesn't mean that's what sex should mean for you, but that's how they defined it for the purpose of the data. So, what did they find? The study showed that the average length of intercourse was 5.7 minutes. That's it. There was a range which included anywhere from 0.1 minutes to about 55 minutes. So there is a lot of variation. It's interesting to note that the data also varied by location, with Turkey having the lowest average at 4.4 minutes and the UK having the longest at about 10 minutes. Now, I want to pause here. These numbers are fascinating from a scientific perspective, but I don't want you to put too much stock in them. The truth is, the most important thing is not a number, but whether you and your partner are satisfied. The glorification of a specific number or the belief that something is wrong if you don't meet a certain time can create a lot of unnecessary pressure and a sense of failure. This brings us to a larger issue that many of us face as we get older, a general feeling of decline. Maybe you feel a little less energy than you used to. Perhaps your body doesn't bounce back from an injury or a long day as quickly as it once did. This is a quiet, subtle process that many of us simply accept as just part of getting older. But what if there was more to the story? Our bodies are composed of trillions of cells. They provide structure, take in nutrients, convert those nutrients into energy, and carry out specialized functions. At the heart of our body's renewal and repair process are something called stem cells. They're often referred to as the body's master cells. They have the incredible ability to duplicate endlessly, and to become cells of any tissue or organ in the body that needs renewal or repair. Essentially, stem cells are released from your bone marrow and travel through your bloodstream to all your organs and tissues to promote your body's natural process of repair and renewal. There's a direct correlation between the number of circulating stem cells and the ability of the body to reach and maintain optimal health. As we age, this natural process can slow down, and our circulating stem cell count can decrease. But what if you could support your body's natural ability to renew and repair itself from the inside out? That's where Stem Active comes in. Stem Active is a premium stem cell supplement designed to support your body's natural processes. It contains powerful ingredients that have been studied and proven to increase the number of stem cells circulating in your body. For example, Madagascan aloe macroclada has been clinically proven to increase the number of circulating stem cells by an average of 40%. It also includes Tibetan sea buckthorn extract, which can increase the number of circulating stem cells by 33%. When you support your body's foundation, you support your overall health and vitality. To learn more about Stem Active, scan the QR code on your screen right now or click the link in the description. Again, that's Stem Active, a premium stem cell supplement. Now let's get back to our conversation about intimacy. The most important lesson is that communication with your partner is everything. No matter what the data says, it's crucial to talk with your partner about their expectations and what they truly enjoy in a sexual relationship. It's different for each and every person, and in order for you to have a fulfilling sex life, you must communicate and always be open with one another. This goes far beyond just the act of penetration. It's about foreplay, touch, shared moments of laughter, and the simple act of holding hands. It's about a deep, authentic connection that is built over a lifetime, not just in a single moment. I can't tell you how many times I've sat with couples who were so focused on a single performance metric that they completely lost sight of the vast landscape of intimacy. They had stopped communicating because they felt like failures. But once they started talking, once they opened up and shared their true feelings, they were able to reconnect in ways they hadn't in years. They found that a shared laugh, a long hug, or a simple handhold was often more fulfilling than a perfect performance. It's important to remember that intimacy is a spectrum. On one end, you have the physical act of sex. On the other, you have the emotional connection, the vulnerability, and the shared history that binds two people together. And both ends of this spectrum are vital to a healthy, happy life. When we focus on the numbers, we miss the richness of the experience. We miss the opportunity to learn and grow with our partners. We miss the chance to create something truly beautiful together. I want you to think about that. What does intimacy mean to you? It's a powerful question, and I encourage you to think about it and maybe share your thoughts in the comments below. The data on what women want is also fascinating. There is no good scientific study on this, but a poll done by a website of 4,000 women found that the average length of time women desire to have penetrative intercourse was 25 minutes. Again, this is variable from person to person, so I wouldn't put too much stock in these numbers. The poll wasn't a scientific study, and it only represents a small fraction of the population. The most important takeaway is what is normal, what is average, and if you are reaching average, that's great. More importantly, it's about what works for you and your partner. Another key component of intimacy is your overall health. Sexual health is not a separate category. It is deeply intertwined with your physical and emotional well-being. This includes managing your stress, getting enough sleep, and having a healthy diet and exercise routine. These factors all contribute to your libido, your energy levels, and your overall sense of vitality. When you feel good in your body, you feel more confident and connected. I've had patients come to me with concerns about their sexual health, and sometimes the solution isn't a pill or a procedure. It's a conversation about stress management. It's about finding time to be active in a way that feels good to their body. It's about prioritizing their emotional health and having open conversations with their partners. For those of you who might be having difficulties with premature ejaculation or delayed ejaculation, make sure you make an appointment with a urologist. These are real medical conditions, and there are effective treatments available. Another great resource is seeing a sex therapist. They can help you and your partner navigate the emotional and psychological aspects of these challenges and work through any communication issues you might be having. I've seen firsthand the benefits of a holistic approach to sexual health. It's not just about the numbers or the performance. It's about feeling confident, connected, and truly alive. It's about making an effort to be intimate with your partner. And it's important to remember that not everyone wants to have sex all the time, but there is so much value in intimacy. In my career, I've seen that the men and women who have the most fulfilling lives are the ones who prioritize their health in a holistic way. They understand that their physical, emotional, and spiritual well-being are all connected. They are not afraid to be vulnerable with their partners. They are open to learning and growing, and they understand that a fulfilling life is not a destination, it's a journey. The bottom line is this: a healthy and fulfilling sexual life is a key component of a happy and healthy life as a senior. It's not about being perfect, and it's certainly not about trying to live up to some unrealistic ideal. It's about communication, authenticity, and intimacy. It's about being present with your partner and cherishing the connection you have. Your body is a masterpiece, and it's meant to be celebrated. Thank you for trusting me with this important conversation. If this episode resonated with you, I would be so honored if you would hit that subscribe button right now. Your support ensures that we can continue to have these conversations that truly matter. And if you know someone, a cherished friend or a valued family member, who might find comfort, inspiration, or a new perspective from this episode, please share it with them. Your sharing helps us reach a larger community dedicated to thriving at every age.